Welcome back to Business Morning. Let's move on to the first conversation for today. In Nigeria, fast-growing innovation landscape, artificial intelligence is emerging as a silent partner powering new possibilities. Now, from Lagos to Abuja, young entrepreneurs are increasingly integrating AI into their business models, which is transforming challenges into smart solutions. Analysts say artificial intelligence is not only helping startups cuts costs, but also enabling them scale faster. And tools powered by machine learning and data analytics now assist entrepreneurs in understanding market trends, predicting consumer behavior, and automating routine tasks. Now, government and private sector partnerships are also growing in this space. Initiatives supporting artificial intelligence research, digital skills training, and even local tech hubs are bridging the gap between ideas and implementation. Yet, experts warn that Nigeria must address infrastructure and ethical challenges to fully maximize artificial intelligence benefits. Reliable internet access, quality data, and clear regulatory frameworks remain critical to ensuring inclusive growth. And now, as Nigerians' digital economy expands, artificial intelligence is poised to become a cornerstone of its entrepreneurial ecosystem, empowering innovators to build smarter solutions for local and global markets. Now, joining us is Zusi Ine, an artificial intelligence expert and founder of Foundex AI. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
It's so good to have you, but I don't think I pronounced your surname very correctly. Please, can you help me? Oh, wow. So now very quickly, artificial intelligence and Nigeria's entrepreneurial ecosystem. How would you describe the current state of artificial intelligence adoption within Nigeria's entrepreneurial ecosystem?
Yes, I think honestly adoption is great. And I think we're doing a good job. I think we need to remind ourselves of how old our country is sometimes when we benchmark ourselves to some of the larger nations. I think we're doing a great job. I think our national bodies are adopting. I think we have great events happening, great forums, great discussions. However, I think now we need to step past adoption. I mean, we're a tech-first country. We love technology.
True.
Look at fintech in Nigeria today. So I think adoption is not the problem. It's about leadership. It's about how we can, adopt an AI for ourselves, right?
Wow.
How we can adopt our own form of AI and not just adopting other people's.
Wow. So that in what key areas do you see artificial intelligence actually, driving innovation among Nigerian startups and even small businesses alike?
Yes, I think we're seeing a great deal of AI adoption within fintech, naturally. So I think fintech is receiving a lot of funding. And so we're seeing a lot of AI adoption because this is an expensive feat,
Yeah.
And we're also seeing AI adoption in healthcare. So we're seeing a lot of health tech companies. We're also seeing a lot of agricultural technology and AI adoption there too. And I think we're looking at AI to predict trends. And we're also looking at AI where data belongs, and where data is. Yeah. So I think that's why we're seeing this fintech, health tech, agri-tech adoption. But I do think there are other sectors that also need a light shone on them. Things like biz tech, human resources. I think there are other ways that we can adopt AI, and I'm excited to see how we continue to do so.
Now, from B-Tech, you just spoke about B-Tech. Can you deviate, just tell us a little bit about how B-Tech works and how you think Nigerians can actually benefit from this trend and maybe, metamorphose and run with it?
Right. Honestly, I think BizTech is a term that is a new term. It's a term hardly used, but I think it's self-explanatory. It's the combination between business process and technology. It's something that I'm passionate about, and I think it's something that's important in emerging markets where businesses need to streamline for growth and where businesses need to adopt technology for growth. So I think BizTech, really what it is figuring out enterprise software or enterprise strategies of adopting technology to grow faster. And so that's what I think is really important. And I think entrepreneurs, entrepreneurial-minded people should leverage AI and leverage technology to build their businesses, whether that's through vibe coding or using AI to, funnel through the data that they have. I think really that's the new thing, that's the new wave and what Nigeria needs to hop on.
So then how can artificial intelligence help bridge gaps, in access to funding and access to markets or even infrastructure for local entrepreneurs?
For local entrepreneurs, I think it's about time cutting, right? I think building a startup used to be hard. It used to be complex and it used to be mystified. I think now with AI, you can go to any LLM and you can kind of ask, what do I need to set up a business? And it'll tell you this is what you need to get a CAC, this is what you need, right? And a lot of the time, access to that information is reserved for a privileged few. And I think now with AI adoption, people are able to access information and people are able to cut the time it takes to start. And I think when you cut the time it takes to start, you're able to present something investor ready to those who hold the capital. And I think through that, growth happens.
Okay, now what role does AI play in helping entrepreneurs turn ideas into viable products or services? You are the artificial intelligence expert for businesses. So how can you give us this advantage and make us run with it?
I think there are tools out there. I think a great one is called Lovable, right? Where people can go and they can just type in a prompt and say, I want to build an app for XYZ.
Okay.
Or there are many others like it, where you can go in and create an MVP from scratch, right?
Yeah.
And anyone can do this. You can do this for free almost.
Wow.
And when you do this, you can have something that, is a starting board for what you need to do next.
Wow.
It can frame the app, the idea, the website that you have in mind. And I think that is a tangible starting point for people too. And also generate AI business plans. I think now there are ways to generate decks that you can send investors through AI.
Yeah.
There are ways to generate plans. And so when you have that plan, when you have that structure, and you have that inner drive that can't be, driven by AI, you have that inner drive, you can make something happen.
Yeah, I like the fact that you're young. You're very young, and you know so much about this. Yes, thank God for the fact that you were able to get this. This knowledge from Columbia University, and you took advantage of it. But then you learned political science. How can you now tilt it towards business the way you are doing, and the passion with which you are running with it? What brought about this, and what were your experiences?
Sure. So I studied political science and business management at Columbia University.
Oh, okay.
As you said.
Okay.
So I think it was that business management. Business management was my special concentration, and it was a selective program and an elective where we got to kind of take courses with business school professors from Columbia Business School, and I think that exposed me to a curriculum that I otherwise would not have seen. And within that, there was discussions on technology, discussions on the future, and discussions on what business would look like, and I think that was my formal education that provided that grounding. But I think I've been a speaker. I delivered a TED talk when I was 14 years old.
Ooh, 14 years old.
I've been a speaker for a long time. And so I have, outside of my formal education, ensured that I am staying up to date and educated on AI talks. I was recently invited by the White House to AI talks in London. So I made sure to put myself in those ecosystems because I understand that's the future. And as somebody interested in policy and interested in growth, I understand that without adopting technology, Nigeria will fall behind. And in order to impact change into our people, I need to be well educated.
Yeah, talking about your passion for Nigeria, how can Nigeria strengthen its artificial intelligence education, training, and mentorship pipeline to actually empower entrepreneurs?
Yes, I think we've already started doing that. I think things like 3MTT, I think there are programs happening to educate people and provide people with skills, right? Forwarded by national bodies. And I think what we need to do now is curate more public-private partnerships. And also act partnerships with financial institutions. I'm talking supranational bodies, international bodies, to provide the funding so that we can really grow these programs. These are expensive programs, right? When we talk about not just skills, but also research, that takes a lot of money and that takes a lot of funding. So I think collaboration and partnership are what are key and important to facilitate that progress.
Oh, wow. Okay, then policy, infrastructure, and even investment, right? What kind of policies or regulatory frameworks are needed to encourage responsible artificial intelligence innovation?
Yes, I think it starts with data. Right. And it starts with the collection of data, the use of data, the distribution of data. And so I think, our national bodies responsible for data collection and use are those who will help us here in this journey towards responsible growth. I think as long as, and as we're talking about, building LLMs for Africa and crafting our own innovation story, we need to remember that the data that comes externally from other people, we cannot control. So first it starts with, collecting our own data and then making sure that we're doing that in a responsible way.
All right, so how can Nigeria attract both local and foreign investment into artificial intelligence driven startups?
I think we just need to continue to prove our value. I think investors are listening. I think investors are attending events, are discussing with people, are present. But what we need to do is kind of show the real returns and the ability for this to be, fast growing. PwC had a stat that said by 2030, this will be a $20 billion economic input into, that's the potential that we're looking at. And so if we can actualize that potential, if we can, our national AI strategies can plan and articulate that potential, then I think we're fine. I think Nigeria is clearly a hub of innovation. Many stats have listed Lagos specifically as one of the fastest growing technology hubs in the world. So people are watching. We just need to prove what we can do.
Okay, yeah. Okay, now you talked about data, right? Now, how important is data accessibility and digital inclusion to Nigeria's artificial intelligence driven entrepreneurship growth?
So I think generally when we talk about accessibility and inclusion, we go back to that skills conversation that you so well phrased. I think we need to ensure that people understand what they're doing. I recently had someone make the joke that you can't tell somebody, let me teach you how to drive, and then hand them a Ferrari. You have to give them
a scrap.
You need to give them the structure, the starting point to be able to actualize and use those things. So it goes back to skills. I think that's what accessibility is. And it goes back to the discussions. I thank God for discussions like we're having today, because I think with the right publicity and with the right knowledge and with the right forums, people will be able to see that this is important conversation and see that there's a gap we need to bridge.
I'm blown by the ecosystem that we've been able to fit into. It's actually mind-blowing. I'm happy the way young people have taken this trend and they're doing a lot with it, even in agriculture, in places that you cannot even fund them with artificial intelligence. It beats my imagination so hard. So then finally, how can collaborations between innovators, policymakers, and AI experts accelerate a more inclusive digital economy? And you also want to tell me, how you go about Foundex, right? Because you've tried. I'm looking at you and I'm wondering, wow.
To your first question, I think really partnership starts with discussion, right? It starts with roundtables. It starts with us not just talking the talk, but walking the walk.
Of course.
Let's sit at a table and let's first talk about money.
Of course, very important.
Budget. Let's talk about how we can collaborate to fund GPUs, right? We need to talk about compute. We need to talk about the different ways that we can provide the assets to facilitate long-term growth.
True.
We don't need to just talk about what is AI and where is it going. We need to talk about how are we going to pull together millions to be able to fund this vision we have. Exactly. So I think it starts with roundtables and it starts with real discussions about how we're going to raise this capital, and then it starts with action, right? Strategy, planning, and actualization. And how I came about what I'm doing right now is just constantly being in spaces with founders, with entrepreneurs, and seeing that grit, seeing that drive, seeing that passion, and just feeling like we have to do something.
Really?
We need to find a way to help people turn their visions into ventures and grow their ideas. I had someone come up to me in an event recently and she said, I'm really passionate about fashion, but I don't know how to integrate technology into it. I see that technology is the future and I want to design things, but I don't know how to merge.
And you helped her?
And I helped her. And so I'm helping her now set up an app where, I don't reveal too much about her idea.
Oh my God.
An app where she can, merge those passions. And so that's really what we want to do with Foundex. We just want to help people turn their visions into ventures.
So you've helped people into music as well?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. A producer came up to me recently and he was telling me about how he also wants to adopt AI into his processes.
Oh, wow.
And that was the kind of thing we helped them do. So hopefully those are the kind of, workshops and forums that we can have with young entrepreneurs to be able to tell them this is the next step, this is what you need to do. And beyond that, we can give them the technology to keep doing that.
Oh wow, oh wow. And so we'll be talking to the founder of Foundex Artificial Intelligence, the INE, right?
Yes.
Your surname again?
Inagmenity.
I'm so sorry. I'm unable to pronounce it as well as you have
That's
just
okay.
done. But we want to thank you so much for coming around Business Morning to educate us how possible it is for any idea to be, brought into artificial intelligence and to give it more life, more feel, more creativity, and more reality. I want to thank you so much for coming. Have a great day.
Have a great one.
You're still watching Business Morning and Breakfast on the Breakfast Show of Business Day Television. And we'll be right back after this break for the second segment of Business Morning. Stay with us. You're welcome back to Business Morning. In today's fast-paced digital world, businesses are discovering that success depends not just on what they sell, but how they connect. Across Nigeria and beyond, digital marketing is helping companies reach wider audiences, boost sales, and build stronger brands in ways that traditional advertising never could. From social media campaigns to search engine optimization, digital marketing is changing the way businesses grow. Now, whether it's a small fashion brand in Lagos or a tech startup in Abuja, entrepreneurs are embracing online tools to promote their products and engage directly with customers. Experts say digital marketing offers businesses a powerful advantage, visibility, with millions of Nigerians spending time online. Daily platforms like Instagram, Facebook, X, and TikTok are now key spaces for brand awareness and customer interaction. Beyond social media tools like email marketing, content creation, and data analytics are given businesses deeper insights into customer behavior, helping them make smarter decisions and improve their services. Many Nigerian businesses are now investing in digital skills training to actually stay competitive. Government-backed initiatives and private digital academies are also emerging to close the gap between traditional marketing and new digital realities. And now joining us this morning is Bola Madukahe, is the CEO of CubeSoft Limited. Good morning.
Good morning.
So good to have you join us this morning under short notice. And now, very quickly, how can digital marketing be strategically aligned with a company's overall business goals?
Well, the best way to put it is digital marketing. First, let me quickly mention what digital marketing is.
All right.
You've given quite a short brief on it, but let me just expand that. It's a way of getting in touch with your customers, your clients, your future customers, future clients in an online space with a new, what they call, it's not new media anymore, but relatively new media, which is digital media, which is your TV. Yes, your TV. People don't believe that, but really your smart TV is as powerful as most other tools nowadays. Your phone, which is the most powerful tool, but really most people have it, and your laptop or your computer. So to align your business strategically in digital marketing, one of the first things you should do is try to understand your business, understand your business goals, understand what you want to achieve. Sounds simple, but the truth is a lot of people don't really know what they want to achieve with their business. I'm sure you've heard of your neighbor who just says, I like cooking, and overnight sets up a restaurant that says, I like cooking, and that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So you have to, so you first of all have to understand your business, have to understand your market. Who are you selling to? So using the same example, you say, oh, I like cooking. You set up your eatery and you put your eatery next to a mosque. And the first thing you are selling there is bacon and eggs or pork or anything that is not allowed. So you have to see, apart from setting up your business, where is your business? Who are you targeting? Who's your market? Who are going to buy it? Once you align those two, then you're ready to go further. You have to create the content, which is now the important part, where digital marketing is very different from other things. What do I mean by your content? What are you talking to people about? What are you pushing out? Are you going to be someone that is known for giving advice? Are you going to be someone that is known for entertainment? Are you going to be someone that is known for just general education? So you have to create your content and then deliver your content on digital channels, which are your Facebook, your Twitter, if you want to go for email, different channels you have, in a language and a tone that people will understand.
Oh, wow. That's
This is
good.
very important. Yes. So those are the key things. And once you've done that, you can now start keep tracking your performance, keep checking and adjusting accordingly to make sure you're doing the right thing. That's pretty much those are the key things you need to do when you're trying to align
With okay then. So now, what are the key performance indicators, the KPIs that actually determine digital marketing successes? I mean, in different industries.
Industries are enormous. I mean, there are many, many different types of industries, but most, if not all industries, most of them have the same basic KPIs for when you're in data marketing space. So determine success, you have the first thing for data marketing success is visibility.
Okay.
That is pretty much how many people see your company, how many people know your name. A perfect example is if I mention one of the big banks, I won't mention anything online, but the big 5 banks in Nigeria, they have huge visibility. That's because they have followers in the millions on their social media platforms. Small businesses like us, we have followers in the thousands. So your first key performance index, if you are setting up a digital marketing campaign, is your visibility. In other words, increase the number of people that see you. The easiest way to check that is your followers, your interactions. Then also how that's now dovetails from followers to interact. How are you interacting with your clients? One thing is for people to see you, and then for people to interact with you. In other words, people to talk to you, to ask you questions, people to say, okay, what you are selling, I'm buying. But they haven't bought it yet. And that's very important. So you go from visibility to interaction to actual purchase, which is taking up your goods by the online space.
Oh wow.
In this day of e-commerce, in this day of where you can, because a lot of people shop on Facebook. I'm sure you have shopped on Instagram before.
Of course.
You know, a lot of women have now. That is now the next step, which is you've seen it, you've liked it, you've chatted with the person, you've now bought it. So that is now taking up the good on the service. So that's your third performance index. How many people have actually bought your goods?
That's good.
Digital marketing helps you track all these things very easily because you can easily check. That's the difference between digital marketing and normal marketing. So those are your 3 key points that you need when you're key performance. Whenever you set up a campaign, these are what 3 things you really have to.
Okay then. So then how does digital marketing enhance brand visibility and customer trust in competitive markets?
Let me take it in 2 because that's a double question you put to me in one.
Okay.
We'll do brand. Let me take brand visibility, enhancing brand visibility.
Okay.
Digital marketing helps your brand be known further than traditional marketing can. What I mean is that right now, a small company who has his office in Badagry and they make shoes, raffia shoes, his scope is strictly his locality.
Okay.
For digital marketing, he puts his presence online, creates a website or a social media page. Suddenly, he can expand much further and his visibility can be actually immeasurable. So you have search engine optimization, which is the first thing I tell any client or anybody to do when you are in the online space, or you are doing digital marketing. Search engine optimization is how easy is it to find your company. If I go to Google, that are the big search engines, Google, Bing, Safari, these are Apple, so all platforms have their own search engine and lots on your phone. If I type in your company name, can I find you? Can I find your address? Can I find your email address? Can I find your phone number? So being able to get your company name up to your first 2 or 3 results on a search engine is extremely important. So search engine optimization is very important. Content creation again. Digital marketing is all about content. That's why I'm sure you heard people that say, oh, what's your job? I'm a content creator. In my days of school, there was no such thing as a content creator. But now,
it's everywhere.
It's everywhere. Yes.
It's a job.
So for visibility, it's a job. It's a proper paying job.
Yeah.
So for visibility, you want to be able to create content that goes viral. You want to be able to create content that everybody sees, which boosts your visibility no end. Of course, you now have to spend some money in paid adverts for social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and these 3 are your core things that you control. But at the end of the day, you might need a bit more, a little bit extra for your visibility. And that's where influencers and affiliated marketing comes in. It pretty much just means you pay someone that is very popular or pay someone that has a good followership to talk about your brand. It's very common in Nigeria, and it does work. So that answers your
All
brand
right then.
visibility.
So
For
now, in what?
building customer trust.
Okay, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
like what? Okay, sorry about. So for building customer trust, this is the second part of your question.
exactly.
It's a case of when you constantly, digital marketing gives you the ability to constantly access public feedback.
Okay.
When people talk about your business, when they give you complaints, you can immediately respond to it, which builds more trust in people. Every company has issues. Nobody is perfect. But people respond positively when you answer them quickly, when you apologize, when you show remorse. Not just you have a problem, you're asking who do I complain to. These are the olden days. Now, you go on Twitter feed, you type in a question, you type in a complaint. Quickly, a good company responds 30 minutes when they responded to you, you feel better. And that builds trust. So that's very important. Constant feedback with your customers. It's all very good at building trust. Yes.
Oh, wow. Well, that's very, very cool. Now, in what ways can small businesses actually leverage digital marketing to actually compete with larger brands?
Oh, back me to well, that's a good question. That one is it's doable,
Okay.
but it's difficult. Mainly because larger brands have a war chest of money.
Okay.
All small businesses, we don't have that. But what you can do is you can play a few tricks to leverage. So let me think. Okay, one of the best and quickest things to do is you have to big brands, especially generic brands, tend to offer basically the same product.
Okay.
If I buy Milo today, I know exactly what I'm getting. Milo has not changed in 20, 30, 40 years. And when they change, they make a big deal out of it. They do campaigns, they new and improved formula. But us small business, we can change people. So small businesses can offer niche targets, niche products.
Okay.
Specific to your customer. So instead of offering Milo, you can offer your chocolate drink with enhanced vitamin D into your targeted at your skin. So suddenly, you're not saying that you're better than the big brand, but you're saying that you're different. It's like what they call your unique seller.
All right.
You're different, and that gives that advantage. Then also with digital marketing, small businesses can be more humane.
Okay.
So you can be in touch with your clients, you can communicate to your clients. Your client doesn't just see you as someone selling them products, they see you as your friend. I mean, whenever you do your hair, I'm sure the lady that does your hair is your friend now.
Okay.
While you're doing your hair, you're gisting, you're talking, you're constantly communicating with her, she'll give you advice on her family. So that builds that unique humanity between you and your client, which big businesses struggle to do. And that is very, very important. So when you do that, you immediately have that advantage. And digital marketing can help you with that. Even if you don't have a one-on-one connection with the person, you can have a chat, you can create your blogs, you can create your WhatsApp groups around your customers, and they feel, okay, this person is taking care of my needs. And they'll come back to you before they go to the big company. So that's a good trick people can do.
Okay, now as a digital expert, as a digital marketing expert, right, and an IT expert as well, what do you think the Nigerian space actually needs right now to make businesses thrive? What should businesses naturally just tilt it and towards, so that there will be that very maximum result that will make the difference out there?
Right now, well, on the Nigerian end, we just need infrastructure. Give us lights. If you have lights, power, if you have your internet connection that is fast enough, the world is your oyster right now because you have extremely intelligent people. What businesses can now do is innovate. We have to be innovative. You're currently competing against India, China, of course, US, Western world. So the competition is global now. I mean, I sit in my house and I'm ordering stuff from Temu, from Amazon, from companies all over the world, and they are delivering to my doorstep. So we have to be innovative. When I say innovative, I mean come up with ideas that bring out that uniqueness in Nigerians, bring out uniqueness in Nigerian products. I went to a fair not too long ago, and I was amazed. People are now wearing Adire trousers. This was unheard of in my days. Ashoke. skirts and Ashoke Jada. Ashoke was meant for parties and weddings and funerals, and it takes ages to make and buy. But now we've changed that. We're being more innovative, we're being more creative in Nigerian market. So that really helps Nigerian businesses. So if we can leverage on that creativity, innovation, and the Nigerian spirit has plenty of that already. We have so much creativity. So if you can do that, you can compete. You can actually compete anyone in the world, and that's what I think Nigerian businesses really need: creativity and innovation. And of course, the Nigerian drive. You know what they say: Nigerians never come last.
Yeah, you've said so much on that. There's something you actually said when you mentioned the use of adire for, palazzo trousers. Both men and women utilize it, and it comes out so beautifully when combined with, with shirts and any other combination they've done with it. It's very, 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 very. A lot in events right now. But then again, I see that you've gained a lot of experience in the banking sector and even in the oil sector. You are very experienced. But then this is you, a digital marketer right now, doing your thing, which means you've seen that there's so much prospects in this field because it just centers around everything and just makes it easy. So can you just tell us your experience in this field a little bit while we round up, because we do not have much time?
Well, originally I'm a computer scientist. We learned how to program, we learned how to fix laptops, desktops. So I was a computer scientist, hardware and software, networking, the whole thing. And eventually, so that's what I started. Went to University of Lagos. I did my master's in the University of Leeds, again still in the computer science field. But then I got some weekend. I used to do some part-time jobs with the old NNPC then when they were UK. And also a company called France Telecoms, which was a big telecoms company. That's when I started getting the love for, because it was just starting the digital marketing. That's when I started getting the love for. There's a new thing happening. People are interested in this. How do you use this new technology we have in front of us to achieve more than just programming, more than just writing software? That's when I started dabbling into it. And when I came back to Nigeria, I joined First Bank for a brief period. I was in their digital marketing unit, and then I moved to Skybank, from Skybank, and I was head of digital marketing there for about 2.5 years. That's when I really got my teeth into digital marketing, to realize that there's so much you can do with it. And the old days were long gone, really. People were really into digital marketing community. We had issues. There are days when I used to wake up at midnight, and I used to wake up at 1 a.m. to resolve issues that someone had put up, because that person was based in the UK or based in the US, 6-hour difference. They still put up an issue. They still have complaints about their stuff, and we have to respond. And that's what really brought me that, this thing is good response, it gets people in. And then the fact that it is so easy to use. It's so easy, not to be good at, but to use it is.
Oh, okay.
So everybody has a phone.
Exactly.
Most people have phones. Everybody has a phone. Even if you don't have a smartphone, your olden day brick phone still can access SMS, and that is still part of digital marketing. Okay. And a lot of marketing is still done by SMS. So that's when I realized, this is big. It's not going to go away. Yeah. So I wait for that.
It will not go away.
So when I left, it will never go. No, it's not me.
Yeah, you just said something. Bola, you just said something. You just said even with old gadgets, you can do a lot, and that's when you realize that it has come to stay. Indeed, it has come to stay. Yeah. But because of time, I would have allowed us to talk more, because I know there's so much to learn from you in the business world. Talking about digital marketing, and because of this, we're going to invite you next time. On our Business Morning segment, to give us more insights in this development. I want to thank you so much for joining us on the short notice on Business Morning this morning. Thank you, Bola Madika.
Yes,
an IT expert and a digital marketing expert. Thank you so much, and have a great day. And that's where we draw the curtain today and today's segment of a Business Morning. Don't forget to tune in same time tomorrow for yet another very interesting segment of a Business Morning on a breakfast show on BusinessDay television. Up next is Big Story with Elizabeth Musa. Don't go away. I am still Destiny Momo. Good morning.